Hi, I'm Tom Kelsey. So I had a first here in my undergrad in sport management, and then I've recently graduated my master's in event project management. I came into post in September, so it's part of the work for Tennis Wales, who are the national governing body for tennis in Wales. We're kind of the arm of the LTA per se in Wales, so we come and look for the provision and structure and support of the game. So my real objective is to increase the number of opportunities and the number of players competing in Wales, and specifically players competing for the first time, so in that recreational space. So I'm all about speaking to venues, engaging, supporting, knowing what they need in terms of support, equipment, finances, to really get out there and get more kids competing for the first time. So that's kind of my passion and goals. That's how the real kind of overview of my job. So I was probably dragged maybe by my mum and my dad to a local village hall in Marshgibbon probably 16, 17 years ago when I was 5 or 6, and I've really started playing from there. Always loved it, always been a sporty kid, and so I never really dropped my racket or put it down, just kept playing, and that's led through to my university life. Going from one end of the spectrum, just fun club sessions, all the way through to competing to teams in local leagues, really the whole world out there. And then as you get older, you realise that there's more than just to play into tennis, which obviously we're going to get into a little bit today. I was probably taken to about 12 or 13 open days at different unis by my mum, and I feel like what jumped out about Cardiff Met was, as a really passionate sporting person, not just about tennis but sport in general, was the breadth of sporting options here, whether it be the facilities or the type of courses, or just Cardiff itself has got loads of sporting infrastructure and stadiums and opportunities. So the whole package, as a keen and avid sportsman and wanting to see how that could expand, really made a lot of sense to me, and it was a really good fit. So in my third year, I was club president per se. It was quite a new role at the time. I think it had only been around a couple of years, and I mean this was the COVID year, so we had no head of tennis, we had no UTC, so that structure wasn't in place. So there was navigating those challenges, navigating the COVID guidelines and regulations and stuff. So it was being that point person and trying to organise and facilitating lots of sessions and provision for the club, and managing, can we get indoors, where can we set up and get people playing and get people meeting when the rules would allow. So it was really being that point guy and that centrepiece to try and pull the strings and make sure we had a tennis club when it was challenging with COVID and lack of staffing support, which thankfully we're now through. Within all my sport management models, I chose the degree because it was really broad, that you looked at everything from finance to HR, but the one that really stood out to me was event management, whether that was just big picture sense in terms of Olympics and World Cups, or more localised and specific sports. So with that in mind, that's what took me down the path of my master's into event project management. It wasn't even sporting related, but obviously sports is a big part of events. So I had a real keen focus, and that was kind of where I saw my career going. Pair that with a real passion for playing and loving the sport of tennis, it kind of fit in a glove. We had a placement kind of day we did with the Principality Stadium, and that's what I guess I'm alluding to, that there's all this amazing sporting infrastructure here. All Sport Wales, all the national governing sporting bodies are based in Cardiff, so it is the hub, everything's going on here. There's tons of opportunities, stuff to get involved with, and also, even if you're not placement, I remember my very first lecture here, it was the Cardiff Half Marathon that weekend, and they just said go and have a look, because you can go along, absorb it, take it in. If you want to be in that industry and work at the industry, you kind of got to just eat up experiences, even if it's just an observer from the stand, from the byline. It was essentially around Wimbledon and its association to its sponsors, and what that kind of the pairing does in terms of brand recognition, and a study into understanding the influence Wimbledon has on its sponsors' brands. And so I guess that in an essence, before I even realised I was wanting to write about something I was passionate in, and inadvertently obviously got a job in it. I guess what I like about, and I'm a guy who likes variation, and in that sense every week's different, no week's the same. It's a hybrid working system, so we work from home, work from the office. We've got a great team that's getting a lot more coordinated, joined up thinking in terms of what we're delivering as an overall kind of provision for tennis. But yeah, it's speaking and engaging with venues, and at the end of the day, I'm delivering very few events. It's more about understanding what venues and coaches and clubs and committees and organisers all need. What are the tools that we can give them to best support them to delivering competition, and there hopefully more opportunities, more players, and we try and make those processes and concepts really sustainable. Cardiff is fantastic that it's this really concise, small, compact capital city, so travelling around is easy, but there's also tons of opportunities and infrastructure, especially in a sporting sense here, so that's fantastic. Great social life, great opportunities to keep playing tennis. I'm still playing tennis at the university regularly, which I'm really grateful for, so fitness in that sense, and there's just tons and tons of stuff still to do here. I mean, the university's been great. I've had a really great experience throughout. That's not just lip service, that's the truth. The formal and informal guidance they've given, and then lecturers as well. There's a whole body of work and departments here that do great things in terms of career advice and pushing you for resources in the right direction for things. So I certainly felt well supported in terms of what career step, and then I had the confidence to go and get out there. And at the end of the day, the job I'm now in was, I only found out about it because Billy, who's the head of tennis here at Cardiff Met, referred me to the role, and that's quite nice that even though I might have graduated or left the building, the staff here are still thinking actively about you, and they see a job role come up, they take their time out of their day to go. I think this is, one, they know the person, and two, they take the time out of the day to go, let's send this over to this person, it's going to really benefit them. So for that, I'm very thankful, yeah. I'm hoping to really make a difference in the space I'm in competitions, and leave a really positive impact in this space, and just continue to professionally develop myself with the kind of values and skills that Cardiff Met's installed in me, and now I'm seeing the fruition of that in the workplace with Tennis Wales, who've been great for me. If I was to take what's the pinnacle of where I am now, is organising the mega sporting events on the level of Wimbledon in tennis is obviously the most prominent example. Olympics, World Cups, there's obviously Euros coming in 2028, that'd be pretty cool to be involved with. So it's just kind of progressing, grounding myself in these sport governing bodies. It'd be so amazing to be event management or controlling or planning something that I would want to go to as a fan myself. So to be in that sort of space, I think, is where I want to go.